Hey, what's going on, everybody? Happy Tuesday. Hopefully, we all had a wonderful Monday, and now we're getting pretty well through Tuesday, and we've got a lot going on out there, including something I've kind of neglected to talk about recently, but it's just all this Canadian wildfire smoke working its way through the east. And I apologize for not really touching on that the past couple of days. It really just kind of slipped my mind. I was so focused on other things like the severe weather and the storms that I didn't even really think to mention all of this wildfire smoke that was on the way. So, in fact, you can even kind of see it on satellite a little bit here. If you look kind of out here into the Atlantic Ocean, you'll see this kind of more brown or beige colors moving through. Those are not clouds. Those are in fact just smoke. Now these are clouds, but kind of this color in between here, that you see that brown, that is a lot of smoke, and because of it, we have a lot of health hazards out there to worry about. So definitely watching that. Also watching the fact still for some severe storms possible the next couple of days, and especially really going into next week. I see a big flare up in severe weather in the east on the return. So definitely make sure you're also thinking about that and preparing for that. A couple other things. Yesterday's video actually did a lot better than the past couple have, so I appreciate that. We even gained a couple new subscribers, so if you're new here, definitely consider becoming a regular and sticking around, because we talk a lot here, and we have a good bit of fun as well. So I guess with all that said, we'll go ahead and start talking a little bit more about the forecast. I know I already discussed that wildfire smoke a little bit, but talking a little bit as to why exactly it's getting here from Canada, it all goes back to this big time low pressure here that's been swirling away up into New England, and this is also that cold front I was talking about. You can see how that kind of wraps around and feeds into that low pressure. Well, because of the flow here from this cold front wrapping into this big low, that is bringing all of the wind energy from the north and from Canada, where we're seeing all these wildfires, and therefore we have a lot of health hazards because of it. So all of these kind of gray boxes you see here in the east, these are all air quality alerts, meaning that it might be a bit unhealthy to breathe the air outside if you have any respiratory issues. So again, definitely make sure you're taking precautions with that. And we also have red flag warnings up here, which are these red boxes indicating that fire danger is a very real threat today. So do not burn anything, or else we're just going to make the problem worse than we're already getting from our friends up to the north. So that's kind of the big story today. But also, if you're up into Maine and all, you're still just getting rain from this low pressure. So that is another impact that we are seeing as well out there, so definitely watching that. Also, we're getting some stronger storms to pop up into the northeast this afternoon, so through New York, Massachusetts, and Connecticut right now, getting a couple strong storms to fire up, and those will continue to work to the south today as we go into this evening. Also, today, another place to watch out for severe storms are here into the Carolinas, specifically from I-85 southbound towards the coast there, watching the chance for some afternoon and evening storms to fire up. And then, of course, also in the northeast, where we're already seeing those strong storms pop up, we'll be watching out there as well. Now, as we get into tomorrow, we keep that threat into the Carolinas, but we also add a pretty kind of big but skinny area here tomorrow, as well as that will really be from this cold front continuing to move southward. We'll have a chance for some storms to fire up here in this kind of darker green area into sections of the Great Plains and the Midwest. Now, as we go into day 3, which is, if my math serves me correctly, Thursday, we have another chance of severe storms here into the southeast as that cold front again continues to sweep on through. So we'll be watching Thursday as well for severe weather before we get a bit of a lull going into this weekend, before we get another ramp up of those chances going into next week. So taking a look at our NAM model here, again, you'll notice as we go through this afternoon, a couple places to watch out for. One, these storms firing up in the northeast, and then also those storms down into the southeast as well. So moving this ahead, again, just expect those storms to continue to move on through during the overnight before, as we kind of get more towards the midnight hour, that precipitation kind of dies down a bit, except for a couple of places. One up here into New England where that low pressure is continuing to spin away. Also, we'll get scattered showers anywhere along this cold front from Kentucky all the way up through the Midwest. Can't rule out a dry night at all, with definitely the odds of some scattered showers increasing. And as we get to tomorrow morning, I expect even more of those scattered showers and storms to fire up here along this cold front from southwest Virginia, again through Kentucky, through Indiana, Illinois, and up through the Midwest as well. And could get a couple rumbles of thunder with this, but not expecting any severe weather during the morning hours of tomorrow from this before we get into tomorrow afternoon. And it's really going to be quite a washout, honestly, for a lot of you folks here in central Kentucky, into the mountains of Tennessee and North Carolina. Sorry, a fly kites flying around, and even there into southwestern Virginia as well. So watching out for those places for that heavy rain to move on through. Now, as we get into tomorrow afternoon, expect some stronger storms to fire off the Appalachian chain here into the Carolinas again, with that threat of, strong winds and damaging hail as well for our Wednesday afternoon. Now, as we get into the overnight on Wednesday, again, still some scattered showers around, but overall the intensity of the storms begin to die down before we then go into Thursday afternoon and we get another flare-up of those storms, again on that cold front down further to the south this time, where once again we could be dealing with a couple of stronger storms, especially here into South Georgia and the Florida Panhandle on Thursday, before finally we get into our Friday and things will really clear out and we'll have a really nice Friday and Saturday for a lot of folks here in the east. Now, looking at this, again, we'll move this ahead past where we just looked at. Again, that cold front's going to sweep on through, and once we get into our Friday afternoon and our kind of Saturday afternoon, things will be much nicer as this high pressure begins to set up over the area. Now, still can't rule out some scattered afternoon showers in the northeast on Friday, but everyone outside of there into the mid-Atlantic and kind of the Ohio River Valley looks really nice on Friday, and going into Saturday, a lot more of the same. Another really nice day besides some scattered afternoon showers and storms in the northeast. Now, once we get into Sunday, I do expect the pattern to kind of get interesting again. So, if you have plans, Friday and Saturday really look like overall the best days to do anything, but Sunday could be nice for some of us, although it does look like low pressure begins to work its way back eastbound throughout the day Sunday, bringing the probability of some storms with it. And by the time we get into Monday afternoon, we could have a pretty big severe weather day here in the east, from anywhere from Alabama up through the Midwest and the Mid-Atlantic as well, having the chance of some strong to severe storms on Monday. And as we go into Tuesday, could see more of the same up into the northeast this time before that finally clears on out. But don't let your guard down, because we could get another strong low pressure system to move on through again later that week. So, to kind of summarize this picture here, we're going to have the cold front move through now. Then we're going to have a nice little lull after that before things pick back up going into early next week. And again, next week looks quite active indeed. So showing this with our dew point map, which is really a great map to look at cold fronts this time of the year and see where they're coming from and where they're going. Again, this is what it's going to look like tomorrow afternoon. We'll have a pretty sharp divide between somewhat kind of muggy air and very dry air. So again, just kind of watch where this beige line sets up, and that is the cold front. Again, this is Wednesday afternoon. As we move this ahead into Thursday afternoon, that continues to sweep south, and more of us get in on that really nice drier air. And then by the time we hit Friday afternoon, it is really nice for a lot of folks. Again, we just have kind of this dome of really comfortable air here setting up shop over the east for Friday afternoon. And same thing for Saturday afternoon, although not quite as nice as Friday, but still overall nice. Before then we get into Sunday afternoon, and again you'll notice this very muggy air is trying to work its way back into the forecast on Sunday before going into early next week. It really takes back over, and that is going to bring back those severe weather chances going through much of next week. So definitely watching out for that. So again, that's all I really got for you today. Make sure you're staying safe out there, really, with the smoke in the air. If you have any breathing problems, really one of those days you want to stay indoors and kind of just avoid breathing any kind of that air. Again, if there are any questions I didn't answer, feel free to ask me in the comments. I'll definitely get to those as soon as I can. But with that said, hope you have a great rest of your Tuesday, and I will see you all tomorrow.